Hi, everyone. My name is Ava Noshiforo, and I am the THONcast lead for THON 2026. We're so excited to welcome you back to the second season of THONcast Beyond the 46 Hours.
Hi, my name is Elisa Goodman, and I'm the Alumni Communications Coordinator for THON 2026.
Hi, my name is Maddie Morgan, and I am the Alumni Campaigns Coordinator for THON 2026. We are so excited to be your hosts of THONcast this year.
If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. We're so excited to have you. A little bit of background on THONcast is that it was created by our predecessors on the Alumni Engagement Captain Committee. And it was basically created for us to connect the entire Thon Nation to Thon's mission and in kind of a special, different media format.
We can't wait to take over this project and give you even more of a behind the scenes look into THON.
So I say we jump right in.
All right, so for this episode, we are going to be talking all about Four Diamond siblings. We're so excited. We have two amazing speakers to introduce you to, and we can't wait for you to hear from them. But before we begin, we would love for you to learn more about family relations and our speakers from Carly Mykit, who is the Family Relations Thon 2026 Director. So, Carly, take it away.
Hi, everyone. My name is Carly Mykit, and I'm honored to be here with you all on the THONcast podcast. I am serving as the Family Relations Director for THON 2026, and I'm here, of course, to talk about our families and to talk about the role of the Family Relations Committee within THON. But a little bit about me, I am a senior biology major here at Penn State, and I've been involved with THON since my freshman year as a committee member, as an organization chair, a captain, and now as a director. In my role this year, I am honored to lead 25 captains within the Family Relations Committee, whose sole mission is to provide emotional support to families throughout the year. This includes having events for families to come to and interact with THON volunteers and providing programming through them for them throughout the year and different opportunities and initiatives for them to get involved within our broader THON community. We ensure that all families have an enjoyable time at all of our events and just are the main point of contact for families to ask questions, feel supported, and, get them connected to different opportunities that we have within our organization. And of course, we ensure that families are at the forefront of everything we do within THON throughout the year. That brings me to introducing our two guests today, Denny Nesbitt and Katie Bush. Denny is the sister of William Swager, and Katie is the sister of Sydney Bush. These two both have such unique experiences within our organization as siblings, and being involved with our organization for so long, they have really been around the block and have done everything as far as opportunities, different initiatives, and coming to different events that we have throughout the year. And this is really where THON aims to provide support to the entire family, regardless of sibling, parent, cousin, uncle, and all the things our community, is there for every single part of the family, as we know that a cancer diagnosis rocks the world of a family and changes that family dynamic immediately. So as an organization, we provide support in all of our events, all of our opportunities and initiatives are open to any family member. And I am honored for you all to listen to their experiences and hopefully learn a little bit about what it is like to be a sibling within the THON community and their unique and valuable experiences.
All right, so for our first guest of THONcast 2026, we have the amazing and wonderful Denny Nesbitt. We're so excited to have you here. Could you just first start off by introducing who you are so that the viewers and listeners know a little bit more of who this wonderful girl is?
I'm Denny Nesbitt. I'm 13, and my brother is William Swager. He was diagnosed with leukemia a few weeks before I was 4, and he passed away 4 days shy of his 13th birthday.
So if you're comfortable sharing your story, could you tell us a little bit about your story in THON and what that's been like for you?
I don't remember my first Thon, but I do know I was absolutely obsessed with Thon when I was little. I remember I would always ask when Thon was or how long until Thon. THON has impacted my life greatly. If I hadn't known THON, then I would have missed the great experiences and opportunities THON offers. People wouldn't have known William's story. I wouldn't have understood the reality of cancer so young, and I would have missed the opportunity to be paired with or know such amazing people.
It's awesome.
Could you tell us a little bit more about your paired org?
I'm paired with the College of Earth and Mineral Sciences. Some of the members come to Knoebels with us every year, or we'll go up to Penn State to go and see them. I'm usually with them during THON, running around with them. And my favorite memory, especially, is when I got to go onto the fashion show and dress some of them up.
Aw.
Can you tell us a little bit about how your relationship with your paired org has changed over the years and grown?
I think since I've been a teen and I've been able to do Teen Network, that has really helped our relationship.
What is your relationship with women's ice hockey and how has it grown over the years?
If I said I loved the women's ice hockey team, it'd be an understatement. I was sad to see many of the girls graduate, but I'm happy to build new relationships with the new girls. Even though a few girls left, I still talk to them sometimes. Even though I still miss them and look for them out on the ice, I'm happy to see where they're going in life after Penn State. My favorite memory was pep rally, and I got to watch the girls dance and watch the other teams on stage on Lindy's shoulders.
Well, and look at you repping your Hockey Valley shirt. We love women's ice hockey.
That's awesome. I'm sure they miss you just as much as you miss them.
Kind of similar to what Maddie just asked, how is your bond with THON as a whole, maybe not specific to your org, but just THON in general, grown since you've gotten older?
Again, probably Teen Network. I've been able to know more teens there and also more captains since talking and just being around THON and doing more events.
That's a great segue, actually, into our next question. What does your relationship with other captains and like the internal side of THON look like?
I don't know all the captains, but sometimes it feels like I do. I've always had great relationships with the captains, between our first bereaved family contact, Miles, to our current one, Lauren. Even though Miles graduated, we have stayed in contact with him and his family, meeting his baby boy, who he named after his brother. I know I shouldn't have favorites, but Haas might be my favorite one.
Oh, I love to hear that. Shout out Haas. You guys got a little shout out.
What traditions do you have with your family and paired org to keep William's memory alive?
Every year on his birthday, we go to Knoebels with some of our THON family, and on the anniversary of his passing, I get to pick something I think would be most memorable.
What has been your favorite thing that you've picked?
Probably going to the movies to go see the new Minions.
It's good. Big
That's a lot of
Despicable,
Yeah.
Big Despicable Me fan. Yeah, I love Despicable Me. Good choice.
Sort of on that note with THON-related activities, what is your favorite THON weekend activity throughout the weekend?
That's a hard one, but probably fashion show since I get to dress a bunch of people up and go on stage.
What has been your favorite costume that you've gotten to dress someone up as?
Probably Miles, our first bereaved family contact. I decked him out in a tiara and tutu, and I gave him a wand.
Oh, I love that. That's adorable.
As I'm sure you know, THON recently announced the theme for this year. So what does the theme Love Leads Forward mean to you?
Love leads forward means to me that even in the hard times, love will still be there. Even though people left because of William's cancer, THON was still there through it. Even in the darkest of the light, love is that lighthouse shining bright. So be that lighthouse in someone's darkness.
Oh, that was so beautiful.
One of our favorite things to do as part of the THON community gearing up for THON weekend is guessing who the national act will be. So if you were to line up your dream national act, who would you have perform?
Oh, that's a hard one, but I know my first would definitely be Waylon Wyatt and Cole Phillips and then Zach Bryan.
That would, I think the whole BJC would explode if
Mhm.
Zach Bryan came into that arena. I hope it comes true for you.
Mhm.
Yeah, that'd be a nice lineup to have.
Yes. All right. A little bit of a fun question. We know that you just turned 13. when 13 means you're going to high school soon. So, what are you most excited about high school? Are you nervous about anything? What are you looking forward to?
I'm a little bit nervous about classes, but I am excited to have new sports opportunities and new friends and going into the VOTEC to see what jobs I want to do when I'm older.
Oh, what sports do you play?
I'm going to get into volleyball and motocross, and I also ride horses.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, best of luck in high school
Thank
soon.
you.
Do you want to talk a little bit more about the hobbies that you have outside of Thon?
Usually, I ride my horses and sometimes compete. I also like to ride the four-wheeler and go fishing, and especially on the weekends, I love sleeping and hanging out with friends.
What are your horses' names?
Pablo and Rennie.
Oh, love. Any other hobbies?
Sleeping. Sleeping.
Yeah, that's a good choice. I would sleep all day if I could. Finally, for our wrap up question, what is something that you want the Thon community to know about Four Diamond siblings, such as yourself?
I love how Team Network is now a thing, but many people don't know what Thon means to someone, especially siblings. When Thon weekend comes around, I get to forget the burdens of losing my brother to cancer. All the events on stage and the things happening on the floor, even just running around and experiencing Thon, helps me forget, but I still remember the good times with him. One thing I do want to tell everyone is celebrate the good and overcome the sad.
That's awesome. Well, we love you. Yes, dad giving high fives in the background. We love you, Denny. We love your family. Your whole family is just amazing. Such a staple of Thon. And I guess we'll see you at Thon 2026 this year.
Yep.
Perfect. At fashion show. At fashion show. We'll look for you guys.
Thank you so much for sharing your story with us. We super, super, super appreciate it. And it was great to learn a little bit more about you.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing your story with us and sharing William's story with us. It's always so amazing to learn so much about Four Diamonds families, especially every family member. Always so beautiful hearing everyone's story. So we really thank you for being willing to share yours with us and the entire Thon community.
Thank you, Denny. You're awesome. Okay, so for our next guest, we have the amazing Katie Bush. Katie, welcome to THONcast. We're so happy that you're here. Could you start by just introducing yourself to the listeners?
Absolutely. Hi, my name is Katie Bush. I am the older sister of Sydney Bush, otherwise known as the Sydney Bush family. I am a Penn State 2020 grad. When I was at Penn State, I was a part of the Dancer Relations Committee my junior and senior year. I was a weekend warrior my senior year, and it was a fantastic experience. I loved it so much. And as a freshman and sophomore, I went to the Altoona campus, so I was a family relations captain there.
If you're comfortable sharing your story, please tell us you and Sydney's story with Four Diamonds and Thon.
Absolutely. So Sydney was diagnosed at 2 years old. I was 8. We're 5.5 years, almost 6 years apart. So she was diagnosed at 2 years old with an ependymoma, which is a brain tumor. It was right at the base of her skull and spinal cord. It was really it took a while for her to get diagnosed. For like a week and a half, my mom was going to the doctor and was like, something is wrong. Like, we need to figure this out. So finally, they gave her an MRI and found the tumor, unfortunately. But from there, it really moved really fast. She had a procedure to have the tumor removed. Everything was successful. And then she had 6 weeks of radiation and she was declared not cancer free, but in remission. And then, unfortunately, a year and a half later, the tumor came back. But again, they were able to remove it. And then after that surgery, she had the gamma knife procedure, which is a high dose of radiation right to the spot. This was successful, and I am happy to say she will be 19 years cancer free in April, which is unreal. But like the best thing, obviously, ever. Oh, I didn't realize I was going to cry already. Wow. Um, Thon is my favorite weekend every single year. We went to our first Thon in 2006, and we just went for the day on Sunday. Um, which was like insane to go on Sunday. I'm gonna assume everybody who's listening to this podcast obviously has been to Thon on Sunday before. It's probably the most emotional day, between family hour and all of the stories you hear, and then also just like again the different range of emotions you feel that day because then also you have the final 4 hours of Thon, which are just incredible. You have Go Go Gadget or whoever may be performing that last time slot, and it is just like one big party at the end. Um, but yeah, so that was our very first experience with Thon. And then for Thon 2007, we were paired with Delta Sigma Pi, our beloved business frat. We love them so much. We are so beyond lucky to have this long partnership. Last year, we celebrated 20 years being paired with them, which was so special. And it was so fun. Like, or I'm so sorry. Last year was our 20th Thon. It was not 20 years being paired with DSP yet. Um, I guess next year will be 20 years that we've been paired with DSP. It was last year for our 20th on, like they made it like the biggest deal. They made us these super cute buttons. I wish I had one to show because they're like the cutest thing. I was like, I sobbed when I saw them. And our relationship that we've gotten to grow with DSP over the years has been so beyond special. And I'm so grateful for it. And I know obviously no parent or family ever wants to deal with childhood cancer, but Thon really did make it a little bit easier to deal with.
That's awesome hearing about your guys' story, all of your experiences, and your paired org is like so inspiring. And it's just so amazing hearing all of your positive experiences throughout your like entire life with On.
Yeah. I mean, basically my entire life period, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, like, if you really think about it, Sydney and I really don't know a life without Thon. Um,
Mhm.
and I think it was such a big reason why we both went to Penn State. I don't think that there was anywhere else we were going to go if we're being so honest. And we have so many Four Diamonds family friends that like started at another school and then ended up coming to Penn State anyway. And I was like, why would you even pretend to go somewhere else when you know where you're going to end up? It's where our heart is.
Yeah, exactly.
But
So on that note, talking about DSP and what your relationship with them has been like, could you describe your experience with them in 3 words? And then if you have more words than that, which I'm sure you do, just tell us a little bit about your family's relationship with them and what that's looked like over the years.
absolutely. Delta Sigma Pi to me is love, comfort, and home. Um, they truly took our entire family in when we were paired with them. Oh my gosh. Sorry.
Don't apologize.
Let it out. This is a safe space. This is a safe space.
They truly took our entire family in when they were paired with us. It wasn't like, "Oh, Sydney's the 4 diamond child, we can like that's like where all of our attention goes." They literally every time we were with them, like both of us I feel like got all the attention that we could ever want in our entire lives. Um they when we were little, like these people were like our biggest role models, right? And now as adults, it's so fun like getting to see all of them or a lot of them be parents and we've been to DSP weddings. We have babies. Like it is the best. We're actually going to visit one of our like very first dancers in a couple weeks. We're going to visit his last baby that they just had. They have 3 kids. So we're going to visit their baby, but in that same trip we're also going to a baby shower for another girl in DSP. So these relationships truly have been lifelong. Um, it started out, like I said, as like obviously they were our role models. They are people that we still look up to this day, absolutely, but have also been like big brothers and sisters. And then obviously I got into college. So then they were my friends and it was so fun. Like getting especially once I got to state college, I got to spend so much time with them. We would go to dinners and just hang out. And it was so fun to have like a second friend group and honestly, they like took me and all of my friends from Altoona in, and like we were with them all the time. It was so much fun. I loved it. And then when Sydney got there, I can't say enough about the group. I mean, they're her friends. Like they are not our DSP kids. They're her friends. They are her friend group. They are the people that she talks to on the phone 87 times a day. Like they are her like friends. And I love getting to watch that relationship grow as well. Um, and I'm just so thankful that DSP has continued to support us all these years because even, like, we've gotten new families, and we have never felt, like, left behind or, like, we don't matter just because we're the oldest family. I feel like they've done such a good job with integrating all of us together, and it is so fun how all of our DSP families have been able to, like, really come together and just get along so well. Like, when the first family came in, we were a little nervous for sure, but it was insane, like, the parallels that we all lived and just how well we all got along right away. And then we had a second family come in, same thing, it just everybody clicked. And then our newest family, shout out Grace Schneider family, um, they came in and it was so crazy to, like, see Grace's journey from when we first met her to now because we met her when she was still in treatment, and now she's gonna be 2 years off treatment in February, which is amazing. But my parents were really able to be mentors to Grace's parents, and that was so special to be able to witness. And honestly, Sydney was able to be a mentor to Grace as well. I don't know if Brooks would call me a mentor or not, but I do love those kids so much, and I love watching them interact with Delta Sigma Pi. Um, it is just like the coolest thing. We went so they hosted a tailgate for us after the Thon football game. And we were there and the Schneiders were there, so we got to go, and it was, like, our 3rd time meeting them in person, um, but getting to watch Sydney and Grace and all the DSP kids, like, they were playing, like, Duck, Duck, Goose and just, like, silly, like, little games. It, like I was like, "Oh my god, it's like us again." Like, they are getting us when we were that age, and I am so happy that they're getting the experience of a child, like, they're getting to witness all of these experiences through a child's eyes, and as awful as cancer is, and as much as, again, like I've said already said, we don't want anybody to go through this, being able to witness how they support Grace and how she's grown since they've been supporting her is incredible, and I know that the support system that they've given her and her family, it's invaluable, it really is, and I just am so grateful that we also get to bear witness to that.
No, I that is so adorable. It's, like, making me tear up, and I love that, like, full circleness, if that's even a word,
It is,
of, like,
exactly.
you being a student and now getting to see Grace's family be involved, and that's just so great to hear.
No,
Yeah.
exactly, like, that's exactly it is, the full circle experience is, like, unreal. It's so crazy.
Yeah. Coming with like the adoptive family background of being a family relations captain last year and working on that team, there's so many like amazing things that like we hear. It's just like the most rewarding experience to be able to pair organizations with families. But one of my favorite things to hear is how like families over the years have like had their relationships with their paired organizations and their relationships with their new families, especially with you guys being a longer term family with DSP. It's just so like it just warms my heart hearing like you guys being mentors and friends and adopting them as if they were your own family as well. It's so amazing.
That's so sweet, thank you. No, DSP is I literally can't say enough good things about them. And I feel like just like the relationships last year, especially that we were able to build based off of the relationships that they had with Sydney was just like incredible. And
Yeah.
I am so thankful for it. And I, again, that group of kids.
That was an amazing group of kids
Listen,
last
fine,
year.
I'll give them a shout out. Okay. Nick Masseri, Lindsay Sarkowski, Kate Rapogel, Dylan Summers, and Theo Koch. Like the 5 of you are 5 of the most special people that I've ever met. And I love you guys so much. And there's so many others like Kylie and Francis. You guys are also the best. There's literally, I could sit here for days and list all of the amazing people in DSP currently, but we're not gonna do that. We don't have time. Love you all so much though. So, so much. DSP is the best. And again, I'm so grateful to have them in our lives.
Transitioning in, like, I first of all love how connected you are to DSP. Like, it really warms my heart to hear all that. But I think what like warms my heart even more is your relationship with Sydney and your sibling bond. It's literally the cutest thing ever. Like, even just hearing you talk about how close you guys are is just the sweetest thing ever. And you kind of touched on this a little bit, but I was wondering if you could kind of expand a little bit more on how your relationship with Four Diamonds has strengthened your sibling bond with Sydney.
Oh, absolutely. So when Sydney was sick, obviously she was in the hospital. So that was so tough. Like my parents did a really good job of like splitting time. And we also are so fortunate that all of our family lives in the area. Like all my aunts and uncles live here, both sets of my grandparents live here. So I was always with like family. But Four Diamonds really was so good about making me feel like a part of the story is like the best way I can really describe it. I know that sounds like silly, but like they every time I would go to visit Sydney in the hospital, they would have somebody there to talk with me and like ask how I'm doing, maybe give me a little like present, like just make me feel included. And that truly was so special because obviously during that time, like it's not about me and it should not be about me, but I am part of the family. Like it is I am still somebody in the family. So like it's so tough to like not be with your family unit, especially that little. And like I was 8, so like I did have an understanding that like she was really sick, like she was getting better, but like I'm still like why is everybody not home? Like my mom tells this story about the first day of school because Sydney was diagnosed in August, so obviously that's school starting in central Pennsylvania. And my mom came home to to get me ready for school and then put me on the bus like that next morning. And she says that that night, like before school started, like we were, I don't know, in my room, whatever. And she said, I just looked at her and started sobbing. And I was like, I just want us all home. Like, why can't we all just be home? And like, I don't know how you explain that to a child, but like a couple days later when I went to go visit Sydney in the hospital, one of the social workers was there and we like had a conversation about it. And I was like, "Oh, yeah, like I know she's getting better, but I still want her home with me." And she's like, I understand what you're saying, but I'm just trying to give you an idea of why she's not home with you." And I just think that they made it a little bit more digestible, which I really appreciated. And I mean, Sydney is has always been like my favorite person. Like literally, it's so funny. I always say this, but I named her. My mom and I watched this show called Providence. And on the show, there was a character named Dr. Sid, Dr. Sydney. And when my mom found out she was pregnant, I was like, "Oh, if it's a girl, you should totally name her Sydney." Actually, I did definitely said it, but it's fine. And my mom was like, "Yeah, we'll think about it." But we went through my mom's entire pregnancy thinking that Sydney was a boy, and my logic was my older cousin had a brother, so I was naturally getting a brother. Not sound logic, but at 6 years old, that's fine. So we literally called her what her boy name would have been the entire time that my mom was pregnant. But I could not have been more excited that I got a sister. When I walked in the hospital room after she was born, I the video is so funny. I'm just like, "She's so adorable. Oh my god, she's so adorable." So, seeing that adorable little baby then become sick 2 years later was, like, obviously unfathomable to, like, comprehend, but again, circling back to Four Diamonds, they really did help put it into perspective and give me some guidance without, like, pushing me too far, I feel like, which was so helpful in the moment for sure.
Wait, I love that. I did not know that you named Sydney, and that's so
I
cool.
I
I
think it's
love
pretty
that.
cool too, it's so funny. I was just telling I was with all my college friends this weekend, and we were talking about names, and I was like, "Yeah, I named Sydney." And they were like, "What?" So, I, like, don't know yeah, but I think it's so funny.
So funny. Wait, that's, like, perfect. Like, you'll always, like, be connected to her
Oh,
that way. I
for
love
sure.
that. That's awesome. Thank you for that, like, extra little anecdote. Like, shout out Sydney,
Shout out Sydney.
shout out Providence, shout out all the
No,
things.
literally, Doctor Sid, hit us up, like, come on, girl. She's, like, still famous. I always forget her name, though. I don't
Yeah,
know.
get the sponsorship.
This, like, stunning Greek actress, but I always forget her name.
Come speak at THON. Come
Nope,
speak at
literally.
THON.
Come to talk.
Come to THON.
Her name.
We'll welcome you with open arms.
Yeah, literally.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so kind of transitioning into a different aspect of your life, you've kind of gone through your overall grand experience with Four Diamonds, DSP, THON in general. Talking and thinking a little bit more about your time as a student at Penn State. Can you tell us a little bit more about your time serving as a THON volunteer during your time as a student at Penn State?
Absolutely. So, like I mentioned earlier, I started my college career at Penn State Altoona. I loved Altoona so much. I truly made the best friends there that I'm still friends with to this day. I'm so lucky that I was able to have that experience. So freshman and sophomore year, I was a family relations captain. My freshman year, I was a family relations captain with two girls, Kendra Peischer and Tiffany Jarrett. Tiffany is actually also a Four Diamonds family, which is so cool. So and she's a Four Diamond sibling. So we had already actually known each other, but it was so fun to actually get to like work together. And Kendra is one of those very special people who is still in my life to this day. She is one of my best friends, and she unfortunately also has a cancer story. Her father passed away when she was in high school, but she used that as fuel to get to Penn State, and she's now a nurse. And she's the best oncology nurse ever. She's just, I mean, the best nurse in general, obviously, but she does so much great work, and I'm so proud of her every day. So it was so special to be able to build those relationships my first year, and then going to my second year, I was like, okay, like, do I want to do family relations again? Do I want to do something else? And I ultimately decided, no, I'm going to do FR again. Like, it's where my heart definitely lies. So I did do FR again. And again, it was a great experience. Our Four Diamonds family also, I want to mention them, the Colin Kratzer family, um, Jen, Naya, Colin, and Bill. Love you guys so much. They were such an important part of the beginning of my Penn State Thon journey as a student. And I did already kind of know them, but getting to know them as like their org was so special and so fun. And I loved talking to them and just getting to learn more about them and getting to know them better. Naya actually now goes to Penn State Altoona, and she actually did some thon last year, which was really cool to see. And I got to obviously support her while she was on the floor, which was super fun too. When I got to State College, I joined a dancer relations committee, and I loved it. I had the best first experience. Shout out Jared Lawler. He was my DR captain, and he was absolutely fantastic. I feel like he taught me so much in that year, and that committee was just incredible. Like, the relationships that we had were just amazing, and I am so thankful for those people and just how supportive, kind, caring, everything they were. It also made my transition to state college a little bit easier because I did have a little bit of a rough patch. I mean, it's going from a little campus to a huge campus, so it's a little daunting, but they definitely helped my transition be very smooth. And then my senior year, I also was on the dance relations committee. I was lucky enough to be picked as a weekend warrior. Shout out Brian Seitz. He was my captain, and I love him so much. And I also met one of my best friends to this day, Jamie Schaefer. She was a freshman and I was a senior, but we were paired as big and little. And I love to call her my little. She hates when I call her that, but she's fine. It's we She never joined a sorority, so I always was like, "Well, I'm the only big you're ever gonna have, so, like, I hope you like me." But she was such a special part of that experience. We had so many, like, random things in common the first time we ever, like, got together. We were both like, wow, this is so bizarre. And like we even had like mutual people we knew. It was like so weird, like how our lives crossed. Um, but I am just so grateful for those experiences and all the people that I met through those experiences. And I truly do feel like it shaped who I am to this day. That weekend warrior position totally gave me more confidence and just helped with my leadership skills and just helped shape me into who I am today for sure. Just getting to work with a whole new group of people and getting to have a little bit more responsibility was so exciting. And I was like beyond excited when I first got the role. So, yeah, those were my thought experiences.
Oh, that's awesome. The Thon community seriously is like the most amazing thing ever. It's such a machine with like developing people and like growing people from like your freshman year to your senior year and then also relationships and everything. It's just amazing.
Okay, so transitioning a little bit into hearing about what this experience has been like in addition to being a Thon family yourself, could you tell us a little bit about what it was like going from that experience being a Thon family and then coming to support the fight through more internal Thon at Penn State as well? Because I know that's a little bit of a unique experience that not everybody has.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, like I think I said earlier, Penn State was always where I was going to college. Like I truly didn't apply anywhere else until my mom made me, and then the next day I got into Penn State. So like there was nowhere else I was going to college. Um, I was so excited to get to meet families that were just like mine and being able to support them. I was so excited to get to share my experiences with these other families that I was meeting. But at the same time, I have had several friends pass away. One of my best friends passed away right before my freshman year of college. And at her funeral, he said to me, "You're going to Penn State, you're going to do Thon, and you're going to make sure that no other families have to deal with this." And I feel like I really like clung to that. I think I've told that story 100 times just because, yeah, he was right. Like, I was going to Penn State to try and make a difference and to be on the other side of it and actually, like, make a difference and, like, get to talk to other families and hear their stories, share my story, connect was so cool. And I honestly also think for, like, my co-committee members, I think having somebody who was on the other side was also really cool. And a lot of them, like, have told me, like, it was so cool to, like, hear your thoughts on things that, like, I never even would have thought of, but, like, you're coming in with such a different perspective that it's, like, giving me a new, like, way to look at things, and I was like, "Wow, that's so nice that you say it like that." But yeah, I mean, I guess, like, yeah, like, if I really think about it, you're right. I am coming in with a totally new perspective, that a lot of people, like you said, don't really get to have, so
Thank you so much for
yep.
sharing that. And that's really cool to hear that perspective.
I remember my junior year, I believe it was that, Sydney spoke on stage at Thon,
She did.
and she said that she danced at Thon, which
Mm,
is so cool,
so
and
cool.
so, of course, we have to ask, how was the experience of watching Sydney get to dance at Thon? You know, actually
Yeah.
having, like, the dance relations background, obviously, the whole Four Diamonds background, like, just tell us all the experiences, the emotions, the feelings.
When Sydney called us to tell us that she was dancing, I, like, lost my mind. I was like, "This is literally the most full circle moment ever. This is insane. I'm so freaking excited to be able to support you, and just let's go. Like, let's do it. Like, you got this." Boy, was I right. She was, I'm not even kidding, the best thon dancer I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, this girl at hour 46 looked like she could go another 46. And I was like, "Dude, what is happening?" And it's so funny. One of our other Four Diamonds family friends also danced, and he also killed it. Shout out Tucker Haas. And he literally was like, "It's a thon kid thing." And I was like, I mean, you, like, might be right. Like, because one of our other Four Diamonds family friends, he had danced, like, a couple years prior, and he also did a great job. But, back to Sydney, I'm not kidding, killed it that entire weekend, and it was just, I don't know how many tears we shed, but, like, that weekend was probably the most emotional weekend ever. We had, like, a whole big group of DSP kids come back, to support her, which was so, like, I think, like, 7 or 8 came back, which was so cool. And, like, they, like, we, like, recreated pictures from, like, when they danced, which was all, like, I mean, that was so, again, so cool and, like, so full circle. Um, but it was just like, it was, uh, no thought will ever top that. After that weekend, I, like, looked at her and I was like, I say every year, I'm like, "Ugh, this was our whatever, whatever thon, and it was our best thon yet." Literally, I don't think anything will top this. There's been some close ones. Thon is, again, still my favorite weekend every year, but I just don't think anything will top getting to watch her live her full circle moment and just seeing how much it meant to her, but how much it also meant to our family. I unfortunately never got the chance to dance. If you ask my dad, it's still a disappointment. It's fine. No, just kidding. Not kidding, but kidding. Um, it was our family's like full circle moment as well because you got to see this little baby 2-year-old go through all of these things and then get to grow up and then get to go back and be a role model to this new group of kids, and they get to see, "Oh my goodness, if she can do it, I can do it." And to me, that was, like, just beautiful and so incredible. I did say this earlier, but I'll reiterate it. I don't even know how many tears we shed. Like, I think I cried, like, once an hour, and I was there, I think, 40 hours. Like, I barely slept that weekend too, just because I was so excited, and I was like, I don't wanna leave her side. Like, this is the best. Like, this is amazing." I think I slept, like, 3 hours Friday night, and I slept 3 hours Sunday, so I'm not even kidding. Like, I think I was there for 40 hours, but I wouldn't change a thing. Like, that weekend was the best weekend I think we'll ever have. And at Thon in general, like, I don't know much that can top it, if I'm being so honest. Like, it just was incredible.
That's so great to hear, and like you said, like, there's no other way to describe it but full circle, and having the experience of getting to watch your sister dance for 46 hours for the organization that, like, meant so much to you guys, that is so amazing.
That, like, literally saved her life. Like, I know we talk about life-saving research all the time, but, like, we mean it. Sydney was put
Yeah,
in a clinical trial that saved her life. So, it works. Like, I mean, the money that we're raising is so, so important and so impactful. So it's
totally,
beautiful.
and that's just so special to hear. So now transitioning into some questions to get to know you more. What are you up to now? So either like professionally, personally, with Thon, whatever you want to share. We'd love to know.
So I am a speech language pathologist. I love my job so much. It is so great to like I work with 3 to 5-year-olds, and it is so special to like get to like watch their progression. Like I have it's just the best job I could have ever asked for. I'm so lucky. I'm trying to buy a house right now, which is so stressful, but it's fine. We're getting there. I think that's really what I'm up to.
On a similar note, what are some of your hobbies outside of Thon?
Okay, I love to read. I read it all. Um, I love to work out. It's so fun. I never thought I would say that, but it's fine. I love to spend time with my family and my friends. I have a really great group of friends where I live now, but also my friends from college. My friends from college, it is so special when we all get together. We've recently celebrated some weddings. One of my friends is pregnant. So we have a lot of big life things, and we always make time for each other, which I really appreciate. I love that it's like never a chore for us to get together. It's always like, "Yes, I'll be there as soon as I can." Like, put me down for that date. And it's so awesome to continue to like foster those relationships. I like reality television. I'm really excited for the new Secret Life of Mormon Wives show to come out. Also, Nobody Wants This on Netflix just came out, season 2, and I'm extra obsessed with it. If you guys haven't watched it, watch it. It's so worth the watch. So yeah, like I love to like watch different things, but I'm a huge reader, so like any book recs, let me know. I can give them.
That's so great to hear. And I love hearing about all the hobbies that you have outside of Thon and just how it kind of makes you a well-rounded person. And yeah, that's really fun. So this is one of our favorite questions to ask. Who is your favorite or who is your dream national act?
The easiest thing I've ever answered in my entire life. Taylor Swift, obviously.
Duh.
I've been a Swiftie literally for my whole life. I love her down bad. I've seen her in concert 3 times, which 3 times was not nearly enough. I wanted to go to the Eras tour another time so badly, and I just couldn't get myself to Miami, and I'm still upset about it, but it's fine. Very excited for the doc. I would say my second would be Demi Lovato because I also love her so much. Really hoping to get tickets tomorrow. Yeah, but Taylor Swift, 1,000%. Demi Lovato, a close second.
All right, so transitioning into some closing questions. What additional efforts can Thon make to support the siblings of Thon families, being a Thon sibling yourself?
I will say, I think that over the last few years, Thon has actually done a lot to support siblings. The teen network being a huge one. When it first was introduced, I was like, great idea. So good. And I was so excited for it. I do feel like it took like a year or 2 to, like, get, like, it rolling, but again, fantastic idea. I think that it was executed well, and I do feel like it, really does help the teens have, like, a bigger role in Thon. I wasn't in the teen network because it didn't become a thing until I was already in college, but Sydney got to be in the teen network, and watching her be able to interact with other Four Diamonds kids as well as siblings was so cool, and, like, I feel like it just really brought, like, the siblings and the childhood cancer survivors together in like one place and gave everyone a place to like belong. Um, as for younger kids, I think that there's so many things Thon does already so incredibly well. Like I still remember doing like my captain in training shifts, which so fun. And like those types of activities. I feel like as a child Thon weekend, like there's so much to do that like I think that they Thon honestly executes it so well, and I think with the addition of the Teen Network, it's just gotten better. I also think Sydney getting to be the Teen Network lead last year was amazing, and she did such a good job. Like, so many of her teens, like, came up to us and were like, "You, like, impact" oh my gosh, let me take a second. So many of her teens came up to us and were like, "You impacted us so much by, like, sharing your story with us, but also, like, just, like, letting us talk and, like, letting us get stuff out that maybe we don't wanna talk to our parents or whoever about." Like, our teen nights were so cool to get to meet other Four Diamonds kids and siblings, like, get to, like, share numbers and, like, hang out outside of these events then. Sydney talks about the 2 girls, like, they just hit it off right away, and, like, they hang out all the time, like, they're really good friends now, and she's like, "It's so cool to, like, see that." Um, but I think that the Teen Network is incredible, and shout out to FR that year that created the Teen Network. It was my sophomore year, I wanna say, or my junior year, and I know it was created by one person in particular, and I really do think that it was rolled out and executed really well. I wanna give that person their flowers, especially getting to watch Sydney take over that role last year was so cool, and just, like, getting to watch her impact the teens was so cool, and I'm so thankful to that person who created it because you gave my sister such a purpose in her senior year of Thon that I don't know that she would have had if she didn't have the opportunity to lead the teens last year.
Finally, to wrap up this amazing time we've had with you, what do you want people to know about Four Diamond siblings like yourself?
The biggest thing I think that people should know is when a child gets sick, the whole family unit is impacted. I think a lot of times we really think about the child who's sick and the parents, which obviously the child who's sick is number one priority. But siblings also are very impacted over their sibling being sick. Um, it really does disrupt the entire family unit. So just really showing support and being there, and especially through the Thon community, like I talked about earlier with DSP, like it was never, oh, Sydney's the Four Diamonds child, so let's do everything with her and like Katie will just like be there too. It was always Katie and Sydney are coming to visit. Katie and Sydney are doing this with us. Katie and Sydney are blah blah blah. Like, and I think that that is the biggest thing that the Thon community can do is always include the siblings as well. And like I know that there's plenty of times where like it should be about the child who was sick. Obviously, like there's so many times where like we need to show support to that child. There's things that are going on that they need our support the most, but just check in with a sibling. Like even a text just saying, "Hey, how are you?" I think is so impactful and really does go such a long way.
Very well put. That was amazing. This has been so fun. This has been great. Thank you, like, from the bottom of our hearts for doing this, like, taking time out of your day to talk with us. The Thon community is going to love hearing your story. I'm sure all the listeners already loved hearing your story, and you just put such a great light on siblings and really showed the Thon community that there's more that goes into Thon than maybe we see from the naked eye, and that was just Your story was incredible. Thank you so much for being
Yes.
on
Thank
the
you so much.
No, seriously, thank you guys so much for having me. I love that. I love Sydney. I love my whole family. I love Dusting of Pie. But Thon is seriously, like I said earlier, saved my sister's life. She might not be here without the life-saving research that you guys fund. And I truly would be a shell of the person that I am without her. So thank you guys so much for having me. I appreciate it so much. And I'm so glad that I was able to share my story with you. And I really hope that if you're listening to this, that you take something away from it.
Yeah. Well, it was such an honor. We really thank you again. Thank you so much for listening to this month's episode of THONcast Beyond the 46 Hours.
To donate to THON 2026, visit donate.thon.org or scan this QR code.
Stay tuned for next month's episode where we're going to be taking over the holiday spirit and talking more about how THON spread holiday cheer through some of our amazing organizations. See you guys next month. Thank you so much.